It was 2003. Everything started out really innocent. We met casually at a place called the Gospel Grill. It's no longer in business, but we met at a little gospel place. I was fresh out of college, home, trying to like socialize and make friends, started my new job and everything. And we just had these really innocuous, harmless interactions, like coffee dates, walks in the park. Seemed like I was building a friendship. It was that vibe I said I'm always looking for, that Simba Nala from the Lion King type of vibe, or Corey and Topanga, my favorite little couple from Boy Meets World. It's an old TV show. I wanted that. I was looking for somebody who wanted to be friends, And at that time, I wasn't even really pressed to be married. I was just excited to be home from college and starting a new job and starting a career. I was comfortable being single. I really never really saw myself getting married. He literally ran down the list of all the women he had ran through and just confessed all of his faults and mistakes. And I would later go on to realize he did that with everybody, because the woman he's married to now, he did that with her. He told her exactly what he did wrong to me. And it's like what they're really doing is just trying to see what you'll put up with. There was a night after enough arguments that we were sitting on the side of my bed, and it was so quiet you could hear a mouse lick ice. The room was dark. And it was a serious conversation. Like, it was the end. I was just talking, telling him all the things I was feeling and why it was this as it wasn't working. And he said he was just sitting on the side of the bed like this, just listening. And I was sitting right beside him, right here. After I finished talking, he was like, "So you want to be done?" It got real quiet. And I said, "Yes." Wham! Right across the bed. I think that's the first time he ever hit me. Unforgettable moment. And ironically, I blogged about it actually in 2017 because it reminded me of a day with my mother where the same thing happened. She asked me something. I think she asked me if I wanted to live with her anymore. And I told her no. Wham! Same thing. Exact same thing. You talking about deja vu? Because I just know that I had time enough to call the police. And by the time he finally did leave the premises, the police, because I lived in Silverton, and anybody who's from my area knows they don't play. Them police they come quick around there. And I just remember when he was on his way out, they caught him right at the front door of my apartment building and had him down on the ground in handcuffs. And thinking about that now, I just I haven't told that story in ages. Woo. It's just the thought of, I remember at that time thinking, you would think this would be the end, right? You would think for sure that I would stay broken up from him. You would think. That's not how domestic violence works. They come back with the apologies all the time, of course, and promise to do better. And also, I have to confess, in case there's any young woman watching who would thinks like this, I want you to hear, because you need to get free of that type of distorted thinking. I remember thinking at some point, wow, he must really love me. Like, I actually thought that. I thought that his volatile reaction was his way of expressing not wanting to lose me. Didn't I say earlier, pay attention to how they respond to your boundaries? If I tell you I want to break up with you and your first reaction is to backhand me across a bed, you're probably not going to respect my boundaries. You don't even really respect me as a human. He actually saw me as an opportunity too, just like a lot of these other nice guys do. But he was more on the spectrum of, he had some more violent responses. A lot of nice guys, part of what makes them think they're so nice and self-righteous is because they don't put their hands on a woman. A lot of dudes will do everything within inches of that. You get to the point by the time they psychologically abuse you to death, you would rather they just go ahead and hit you. Shoot. The freaking physical wounds heal faster than the psychological and emotional ones. But anyway, so that's how our relationship started.